Welcome into the Greg May Honda Extra Point High School football preview show. I'm Darby Brown, joined by Chad Vautherine. Chad, the 2024 season is finally almost here. Games will be played tomorrow.
Oh my gosh, Darby. Yeah, we are so pumped. And matter of fact, we're going to get you ready for the season, previewing all Central Texas teams for the next 30 minutes, district by district. And we'll start off with District 12 in 6A.
Yeah, Midway won a co-district championship last year and made the playoffs. That was a big step for the program after a couple down years. And now the Panthers have a new head coach who they hope can help them build off their success. The Panthers made a very flashy hire this offseason, bringing in former TCU defensive coordinator Joe Gillespie to be their head football coach. Coach Gillespie helped TCU reach the national championship just 2 seasons ago. He coached high school football in Texas for 20 years before coaching at the college level successfully, especially at Stephenville, where they won a state championship and multiple district titles.
They got a taste of what it's like to sit there and win. They got a taste of what the playoffs were like, and they were extremely close to, going to the second round. And if you can get yourself to the second round, who knows what happens from there. And so there's a lot of kids that are very hungry. So I think we're coming in at a prime time.
Yeah, the Harker Heights Knights are consistently one of the top teams in District 12 6A. They are rolling into the second year under head coach Mark Humboldt, and they return 4 major wide receivers, including TJ Johnson and Kai McMillan.
Last year's team was, I think, we had a new head coach. We were fighting much adversity last year. But this year, I want to be known for us being very disciplined, cause commotion on the field everywhere we go.
Yeah, the last few years, Shoemaker has been sitting towards the top of their district. But get this, Shoemaker has never won a district title. Yeah, I'm pretty shocked too. But the Wolves have a real shot at this thing. They can outrun anybody in their league, and they're returning experience at just about every position.
A lot of these guys have been with me now for 4 years, and that's unique in Shoemaker USA because of the military and how much kids come and go. But I do believe the cohesiveness of our team with those young guys, who I really didn't mention a whole lot about, coming in. And so anytime you have that, winning is contagious, and we just hope that carries over to this season.
The Copperas Cove Bulldogs are trying to bounce back from a tough 2023 season, going 2-8 and missing the playoffs. But here's the thing, they were 14 points away from being 5-5 and making the postseason. Head coach Tony Johnson says that is a major motivator.
14 points is hanging up in their locker room right now. It's been hanging up since January, and so for us it's a reminder of being so close but not finishing the job, and how important that is to anything you start, you should finish.
The Killeen Kangaroos are jumping back up to the 6A level this season, rejoining District 12 6A. This will be year 3 under head coach Josh Sadler, and the Roos have made great strides, finishing with a winning record last season, but they want more.
Making the playoffs. Last year we came up short. One game, we lost one game. It ended our playoff career, but I know this year we're coming for the first, but hey, as long as we make the playoffs and keep winning, that's all we can ask for.
Yeah, 2023 was an unusual season for the Temple Wildcats. Typically, they are competing for a district title, but last year they went 1-9. Now, they were a very young group, but head coach Scott Stewart said the Wildcats aren't making any excuses for what happened. They're just focused on what's next.
There's been a hyper focus on trying to do things right. I mean, in the weight room, in the classroom, in the locker room, on the practice field. So, been very proud of those guys. Again, sometimes you go through something tough and it's a humbling experience. So we're having a blast. Can't wait to get started, and these just want to get after it.
Let's talk 5A teams now, starting with District 8 5A Division I. It's year 3 for Chaparral varsity football, and they have a new head coach, Tyrell McCray, who's coming from San Antonio Davenport. McCray helped lead the Davenport team to the state semifinals in year 4 of their program. It was a magical run, and he's hoping to do the same at Chaparral.
The Cinderella team, the team nobody really knows about, and then all of a sudden you're looking up and you're seeing that they have 5, 6, 7 wins, and they're in contention for a district title or playoffs. So that would be the ultimate goal of this year, accomplishing some of those goals that our seniors have laid forth, and then again, surprising a lot of people along the way.
Yeah, Lake Belton's has only played UAL football for 2 seasons, but they've made some noise around the state and even around the country. Lake Belton's had a lot of success early on, but they have yet to win a district title or even a playoff game. Both could be done this year.
Obviously, play at Jerry's World. That's definitely the goal, but definitely district champs. I probably would say just a lot of hard work. Mental toughness is definitely a key factor in us being able to be district champs.
In District 11 5A Division II, the Belton Tigers are officially the hunted rather than the hunters. Belton's won back-to-back district champs, but they graduated a bunch of key guys, so it's a bit of a new chapter for head coach Brett Sniffen and his staff.
Just keeping the same momentum and the determination. We have a good team, good drive, and I think that can take you a long way, no matter the skill level, even though I think we do have a bunch of skill on our team now. So I just think just keeping that same momentum will get us there.
Well, Ellison had a bit of an off year in 2023. They only won 2 games, but this year the Eagles returned 40 players to their roster, including 3-year starting quarterback Sidney Holland. And with all this experience coming back, Ellison will be in the mix for the district.
Quite a few guys, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Our whole secondary was brand new. And so, we're going to have a couple of guys who's had a couple of years of experience now playing in some of those positions.
University and Waco are also in District 11 5A Division II, so the Waco ISD rivalry is officially back. Waco High is dropping down from 5A Division I to Division II.
Yeah, it'll be fun to see these two teams play district football games once again. Yeah, University's had a lot of success at this level, making the playoffs the last 2 years. They want to win a district title, though, this season, and it could be their first outright district title since 1959.
Looking forward to this year, looking forward to seeing the growth that we've made, the maturity that's come with those sophomores becoming juniors, and then just the camaraderie that's been built, in this family that we're putting together here at University.
The Waco High Lions are heading into year 4 under head coach Lyndon Helt and are hoping that consistency in the program starts to pay off. 2023 was tough for the Lions, who finished the year without a district win.
Our biggest strength is the O-line this year. We have a whole senior O-line. We played together for 4 years, 3 years. So I think that's our strong point. I feel like for a team, we want to, make district championships and maybe, go deep in the playoffs. Just improve off of last year. We've been in a drought for a while, so hopefully we can change that.
When we come back, we'll take a look at our 4A and 3A teams, highlighting a new district that has a lot of people talking. You won't want to miss it. There's a district at the 4A level that has pretty much all of Central Texas very excited.
Yeah, it's District 12 4A Division II. It will certainly be one to watch, full of teams who already know each other very well, and one of those teams is the Lorena Leopards. The Leopards are jumping up from the 3A level, where they were a very successful state-winning team just a few years ago. Now the Leopards, they graduated a few strong seniors, and so now it's time for some new faces to take over.
We've got a big senior class, just guys that have not had a whole lot of experience like the class last year. So, we've got some talented kids, so it's going to be interesting to see how all that kind of blends together and see what we can do. But we're excited. Feel like we've got a good opportunity this year if we can stay healthy.
Yeah, China Springs dropping down from 4A Division I, so the Cougars are also in this district. After winning back-to-back state titles, China Springs fell in the area round last season, but they do return a few key skilled players along with a very experienced offensive line.
The La Vega Pirates are projected to be the winners of this district potentially. They are returning 16 starters, 9 on offense, 7 on defense. That's just about as much experience as any team across the state. It's been a few years since they've had a deep playoff run, but head coach Don Hyde believes he has the pieces to contend.
Experience, it's the first time in a long time we've had a little experience, other than a couple of kids. We've got, probably out of 22 starters, offensive and defensive, we've got 18 kids that got quite a bit of experience playing on Friday nights. Our kids compete every single day at practice, and hopefully when it's all said and done, we'll be right there with the best of them.
The Connolly Cadets will be looking to three-peat as district champions, but they'll have to overcome the loss of some very great talent. Head coach Terry Garrick will lean heavily on quarterback Jamarian Vincent, who you'll also see line up as receiver and even in the secondary.
Just to showcase my talent, showcase what I've been working on. It feels like we got something to prove this season, really.
He was a sophomore on varsity last year. It was new to him. But he's kind of taken a little bit of leadership role. And I told him, I don't care where you play at, just give us everything you got and you'll be fine.
The Gatesville Hornets won a gold football last season, making it to the second round of the playoffs, and now they want more. The Hornets are revamping their offensive line with 4 new starters.
We're the most skilled we've been in a long time. So we have some receivers on the outside that can catch the ball, and I think defensively we're going to put a defense out there that's really fast and probably our fastest defense we've had. Our linebacking core is probably our most experienced group. I'm excited for what we're going to put on the field. Our kids have worked really hard, and I'm excited to go see it, show it on Friday night.
The Robinson Rockets returned to the playoffs in 2023, and they're heading into their second year under head coach Chris Lancaster. He's a guy who understands Central Texas football, and so far, he's been a great fit for Robinson.
We can put a good product out there and, just get better and better and better. What we can't do is focus on the new district only, because what we got to do is just play one play at a time and just keep chopping wood.
The Salado Eagles are in District 13 4A Division II, and the Eagles, they have a new head coach. It's Rick Beatty. Now, Salado's offensive line is no joke. They average to be around 6'3", 240 pounds. People often say it all starts up front, and if that's the case, well, Salado will be in a good spot.
Hillsboro had an up and down season last year, but finished strong, reaching the playoffs. Still, though, Hillsboro hasn't won a playoff game since 2001. Safe to say that would be a big deal for the Eagles. But to Coach Stephen Almute, it all starts with the little things.
Have a great effort, great attitude, be the greatest teammates that they can be each and every day. And it doesn't matter what. And, the success story is raising a gold ball, act right, do right, and have the chance to raise a gold ball at the end of the season.
The Lampasas Badgers are the lone 4A Division I Central Texas team in District 4 4A. The Badgers are projected to be a playoff team when returning quarterback Reed Jerome and running back Jet Walker leading the way.
All right, let's chat about our 3A teams now. Central Texas teams are typically very competitive at this level, and there are plenty of talented teams heading into this season.
Yeah, well, we'll start with District 5 3A Division I. While the Grandview Zebras, they have a great name, and certainly poised to have another good year, so are some of their Central Texas squads.
Yeah, that includes Groesbeck, Mahia, West, and Whitney. The Goats are looking for another playoff berth this year, but in order to do that, they'll have to make up a lot of ground, returning just 2 total defensive starters. Mahia is hungry. The Black Cats haven't had a winning season since 2020. 26 seniors hope to change that. The West Trojans will play a new quarterback this season, but have a more experienced line and a standout running back, Coy Klisch. Whitney might have the best chance to upset those pesky Zebras this season. Despite graduating some key guys, this team is full of talent.
Whitney, we're building a program. It's not a year-to-year deal. It's a reload. It's a graduate and reload, graduate and reload. Just be a plug and play, next guy up, next guy up.
Fairfield and Teague are both in District 9 3A Division I. Fairfield has a strong ground game with Jalen Shedd at running back, and Teague is bringing back a bunch of key guys, including their quarterback Zach Leha. Now, those Lions are the preseason favorite to win that district.
They sent us to a new region. There's a lot of unknown things out there, but that's exciting to me, And when we kept some of our great rivalries, but there's some new things coming too. Yeah, I'm gonna be as surprised as others when I put on film and see what we're about to face. Hopefully they are too.
District 11 3A Division I always gets a lot of our attention. It's full of Central Texas teams, plus Franklin, who will look to defend their state title. Academy, Cameron Yo, Troy, McGregor, and Rockdale will do their best to get in the Lions' way. Rockdale will be a young team this season, but have a solid QB and offensive line. McGregor has a new head coach who is looking to have a strong year while building up the program for the future. Cameron Yo also has a new head coach. The Yeomen should be tough on defense. Troy set records on offense last year and has plenty of firepower again. Academy is coming off a 10-win season and are looking to keep things going.
Tell you what, our defensive staff does a tremendous job of putting our guys in the right spot, and we talk about alignment and assignment all the time. And so, we get them lined up right. I mean, let them play fast. And that's something, like I said, I talked about last year, our strength and conditioning. We really did a good job of getting faster and bigger. And I mean, I know it's everybody's motivation, but we really turned the tables on some people. And we played physical, and we're going to play even more physical next year.
Clifton made the playoffs after stringing together 3 wins in the last 4 weeks of the regular season. The Cubs will be very experienced up front on both sides of the ball, but head coach Brent Finney is looking to his younger guys to step up and compete this year.
Now, not only did Rogers win their district last year, but they made it all the way to round 3 of the playoffs. They lost several key skill players, including quarterback Cooper Cisneros, but he'll be replaced, get this, by his own brother, Tyson Cisneros, who is eager to lead a very hungry Rogers team.
Well, coming up, we're going to dive into our 2A teams, 6-man teams, and the private schools. Stick with us.
Well, it's time to get into our 2A teams. Lots of Central Texas teams represented in this class, and usually there's a team or two that ends up making it all the way to state.
Yeah, from what we've seen so far in 2 days, that trend is very likely to continue this year. We'll start with District 7 2A Division 1. Axtell went undefeated in this district in 2023, but they were stunned by Valley Mills in the playoffs, who was in a different district, but now they'll be joining the Longhorns along with several other area teams. Italy and Dawson, both playoff teams, are returning a lot of great talent. Rio Vista and Itasca will both be looking for a playoff berth. And then Bosqueville will get to start over with a clean slate. They hired Reggie Patrick, who ran the offense over at China Spring for several years, to be their head coach. He's ready to bring his state title experience down to the 2A level and compete.
To kind of just try to make some noise in Central Texas, just get Bosqueville back on the map. I know we have had a little dip over the last couple of years, but the kids are excited and we're ready to make a statement.
You play the same people over and over. That is fun. You get the rivalries, but it's also exciting to try to figure out new ways to win football games.
Yeah, moving on to District 13 in Division 1. Nothing has changed in this league, minus the departure of Bosqueville and Valley Mills. But all these teams know each other very well, and they have one common goal: prevent Marlin from winning back-to-back district titles, especially Crawford, Riesel, and Rosebud Lott, who are right on their heels last year. Now, Crawford was just a field goal away from beating Marlin a year ago, and we can expect another tight one between those two on October 11th. The only difference in this game is that Jeff Rogers will be the head coach of Marlin after a few years as their defensive coordinator.
Holland and San Saba are in District 14 2A Division 1. The Holland Hornets have a new head coach. The Hornets are coming off of one of their best seasons ever. On the other hand, San Saba won just 3 games in 2023. They have a strong sophomore class and will have a new quarterback, Luke Tharp.
We'll take a look at this district now. When we talk about state titles at the 2A level, this is the first one that comes to mind. In the last decade alone, I don't think there's been a state title game without either Mart or Bremont in it. So you also got teams like Wortham, Goldthwaite, who've also been right there. And then, of course, the Chilton Pirates, who met with Mart in the state semifinals last season. Now, whoever comes out of this district has a very high chance of playing for a state title. The question is, which team is it going to be?
End of the season, I mean, the first day after we lost on Friday, that Monday, those guys were ready to go. A lot of those young guys wanted to be in that spotlight, and the guys that was there, they was ready to get back, go to work.
We've been to the final 6 of the last 7 years. Been fortunate to win 3 of them. We feel like we're gonna have a shot when we get there.
6-man football time now, starting with District 11 1A Division 1. Abbott is the favorite in this district, with rival Aquila ranked right below them. Then moving on here, Jonesboro and Lomita are in the same district, 14 1A. Jonesboro is poised to make another deep postseason run after going 12-2 last season. Mount Calm will have some talented underclassmen this season that could surprise some people. And then we have District 14 1A Division 1. Oglesby is the top-ranked team in the state heading into this season after reaching the state championship in 2023.
Well, Bishop Riker will enter a new regime under new head coach Nick York, who comes from Pittsburgh, Texas. Yeah, a large majority of his starters will be underclassmen, and he only has 1 senior on his roster. But York is ready for the challenge. He has a lot of confidence in his guys.
Live Oak is making the brave jump from 6-man to 11-man football this year. They hired Moody head coach Matt Hurst to take over the program, who says his kids' 6-man experience will be very valuable. Vanguard will still be playing 6-man, but they'll have a new head coach this year, Brad Schupbach, who spent several years at Dallas Lutheran, even won a state title there. His goal is to establish a winning tradition.
Well, after reaching the second round of the playoffs in 2023, the Lions, they want more. They're returning a bulk of their starters, and they have a clear mission at Central Texas Christian.
Yeah, that helps. Well, Chad, that's about it. It's about time to actually play some games.
Yeah, I think, thanks for tuning into our preview show. We hope that all the local teams have a great season this year.
Absolutely, and be sure to join us every Friday night at 10:15 for the Extra Point. And if that's not enough for you, we have an overtime show that starts at 11. That's on Facebook and on our website. 2024 is going to be a good year, I have a feeling. We'll see you on Friday.